showtime at the Apollo. Hey, 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 hey. But this is not the Apollo, okay? But it is showtime. It's showtime. It's showtime. And boy, are we excited. We are so excited. We're always excited, aren't we, Cheryl?
Yes.
We're just born that way. Anybody? Do you remember that cartoon movie, or it was a movie? It was called Roger Rabbit. You remember Roger
Yes.
Rabbit? Okay. And so Roger Rabbit had this character, but she was just real sexy. You know, she had the little
Yes.
hair drawn over the eye, and
Mm-hmm.
Roger Rabbit and them was just, and that other Bob, whatever his name was saying, "Oh, oh, you bad," and she would say, "I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way." That's how me and Cheryl are. We're not happy. We're just drawn that way. We just, y'all ain't gonna catch us in no bad mood. We gonna tell y'all that right now. What's up, Sandra? We about some bad mothers. Shut your mouths up in here. We on that happy sauce. Naturally. What's up, Rashida, my BFF? Cheryl, Rashida and I, we still can't wait to come to San Diego. We just want to let you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got sunshine too.
Okay, we have some sunshine too. Hey, you guys, can you drop what city you're representing? And Rashida, is it sunshine in Atlanta? Because today in Cleveland, let me see what my app says. It's 43 degrees, but we got pretty warm today. It was pretty sunny, not like California, but we did have some bootleg sunshine. Just some bootleg sunshine. So, everybody, welcome to our podcast. We are actually on our 42nd. Almost my age, Cheryl. Almost my age. We are getting up there, guys.
Ever.
Getting up there. We're actually, and you guys have been rocking out with us. So, this is our 42nd episode of the Dumbest Ish that people say about black hair. And this podcast tonight is really geared towards those people who just have so many products, and we're calling you guys the hair care junkies, okay? And we're going to define what a hair care junkie is. You had sunshine up to 56, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. I've never heard of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Okay, only thing I know about Jersey is Joe Piscopo. Can I do it, Cheryl? Can I just say it one time, please? Are you from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. And I only know Joe Piscopo. They probably don't even know who Joe Piscopo is. That's the sad part. He was the funniest man back in the day. Him, Steve Martin. Remember?
I have a Jersey number, New Jersey cell number.
You do? Okay. Oh, and I heard New Jersey Drive. Okay, there used to be a movie, New Jersey Drive, with a hip hop song, Okay, you have two. We got DMV. I love DMV. Y'all got the Go-Go. Y'all got the House. B-Mall. Virginia. Oh, I love it. You like DMV, Cheryl? Come on, Cheryl. We got DMV in the house. Hold on, Lena. Wait a minute. She gonna come back again. Let's try it again. Cheryl, try it again. We got Lena in the house. Come on. You like DMV?
No.
Lena like, Now, you know what that means, Lena, right? You're going to have to invite us down to the DMV and show us what it's all about, all right? Okay, so we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining the chat. The podcast is going to be fun and simple and geared towards you. And this one is all about the hair care junkie, all right? And, we got powerful Muslima. We like when our returns come back in, don't we, Cheryl? Because y'all are partners. Remember that. You guys are not followers. So if somebody say, well, what are y'all doing at 6 o'clock? Y'all gonna say, oh, I'm going to, I'm going into the chat with my partners. They like to help us out. So we do not consider you guys followers. You guys are our partners. So we thank you so very much. And again, our topic tonight is going to be about all them hair care products. Now y'all know I'm gonna get it started. Always, y'all know me. I'm Kilolo. I like to get it going, and sure, she's just gonna be nice and polite and get it all together. But before we get into how many products that are in your closet, because remember we're gonna play the lottery with these. Okay. Now if we win, only the people that's in the chat gonna get this money. So don't be trying to come back after the live talking about some. Oh, well, we all on CNN, right, Cheryl? Two hairstylists wins the lottery on YouTube after asking their partners to drop their number of products in the chat, and they won the mega lotto. Wouldn't that be a wonderful news story?
Incredible headline.
That would be an incredible headline. But before we get into those numbers, okay? All right, Rashida, get your live. Come back after you're done. Let's talk about Jada Pinkett. I don't know. I know we talked about it a little bit. I'm not quite sure. But Cheryl, can you just let everybody know kind of what's going on with, because you brought it to my attention, with Jada Pinkett and what she's trying to do to address where she's at in her life right now.
Yeah. There's this wonderful documentary coming out on Netflix, and it's called African Queens. And it is a docudrama series that goes down, I don't know if it's chronological or not, but it does highlight women and rulers of Africa. And so I think that it's going to be a great piece of drama. And, I think that is, well, as she said, it's way she copes with detachment in terms of hair. Or at least that was in the article. And so that's the way she's choosing to deal with image and beauty and all of the things that it takes for a woman to rule her throne, her empire. And so I think that great effort, great way to channel some of the westernized ideas of Black women and how we take charge. And I think it's going to be a good thing. It'll probably be more enjoyable than the Madam C.J. Walker, whatever that was.
Yeah, the Madam C.J. Walker. I don't even know what happened there, but they get an E for effort. But I'm very interested to see what she's doing. By the way, in case you guys want to get out ahead, before she actually drops this, there's this wonderful book here, and it's called it's by Cara Cooney. And it's When Women Ruled the World, and she highlights about I think like 5 queens in this book. And I'm just gonna tell you who. Do you have a favorite African queen, by the way? Cheryl, do you have one that you kind of inspired by?
No, I it's like every Black mother. And it's almost like it goes hand in hand to me. But I will say, I think that was one of the glorious parts that most historians don't really talk about, is that Africa is a matrilineal continent, and it has a longer history of under the rule of women. And so we can talk about that in terms of, I think, matrilineal countries and continents. One of the things that was really surprising, I think, all the countries under COVID that were ruled by women actually did not have a very long pandemic. It's a national fact that they dealt with it. It was to me, and that was one of my favorite facts about women rulers, women presidents, women prime ministers. So it kind of goes to the history of how women rule. You're muted.
So I'm sorry. It always takes Cheryl to tell me I'm muted, number one. And you know, Cheryl always put a twist on it. See, I be coming with my little European, you know, that linear thought. You know that I gotta get my Woody Lynch chip deactivated. I'm just gonna go ahead on and say it. I see my boss. What's up? Valerie, I'm so Valerie, hey, Valerie Elmore. I'm gonna digress right quick. Oh, by the way, y'all drop them L's in the chat. When my boss come through, come on, y'all. Y'all go ahead on and drop them L's because I do have a real live boss. I know y'all think I'm out here just acting crazy, but there is someone who's actually holding me accountable, and she's in the chat. But a quick thing about Valerie Elmore, right quick. I just want to say the reason why I'm on social media is because of Valerie Elmore and her daughter. They're the ones who literally sat with me in the hair salon, and they encouraged me to use my voice on social media. So, Valerie, I just wanted to digress and say, look at me now. I'm with Cheryl. So thank you, Valerie. Okay, so now back to the lesson at hand. So what I was fenced to say, anybody know what fenced to mean? You know, this is our little urban dictionary, our fenced to. So what I was fenced to say, or finna, anybody remember when Bill Clinton was introducing President Obama, and he was like, finna. I knew he was black when he said finna. Everybody don't know what finna mean, but anyway. So what I was finna say, okay, is that my favorite queen is Queen Hatshepsut. But I like the way Cheryl puts it in a much broader perspective, because y'all know we're any, meeny, miny, more situation up out of here. And maybe, Cheryl, we can digress for a little bit and kind of talk about that, because I think all of the women and men who follow us here, that would be something that we need to talk about, is that matrilineal, rule and lineage that came out of Africa that a lot of people don't talk about. I know John Henry Clark talks about it for sure. Sheikh Antiope, oh boy, he does a phenomenal job. And so a lot of it, and I think that would just be a wonderful way to digress. And I'll have some real cockamamie questions. And of course, you can, get the record straight. But again, if you guys want to know more, Jada Pinkett does have a series coming out on Netflix. So, on Hulu, right? I think that's Hulu.
Nah, they said Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Okay. So it's going to be on Netflix. And here's a book that we recommend that you could check it out by Kara Cooney, When Women Ruled the World. And I'm going to piggyback off of my homegirl, Dr. Ma'at, which she's right here on YouTube. Please, if you can, buy your books from black bookstores. I know we all, run over to Amazon right quick, but if you can, all right, okay, please go, or local bookstore. How's that? Because you may not have one in your neighborhood. But here we go. I want you guys, we're about to get this party started. We're talking about the hair care junkies, and I'm just going to put this one up, Cheryl, because I saw it in the chat already. And get ready, Miss Sophia. The first, I'm going to put your statement up. She says, as far as when it comes to being a product junkie, nope, I am not looking for a cure. So while I love this podcast. Oh, we can do this forever. But as I describe what a hair care junkie is, a hair product junkie, can you guys drop in the chat? Some people already did. Drop in the chat. How many bottles of products, by the way, do you have in your closet, on your shelves? Some people already was just dropping in the chat. I got 2, I got 5. So go ahead on and entertain us and all of the people who are going to watch this post live. Lena, you said you got 5. You're a recovering junkie? Okay. I got 5 on it. Y'all think me and Cheryl don't know about 5 on it. Come on, y'all. We know. I got 5 on it. All right, she got 5 on it, Cheryl. All right, drop in the chat right now. How many products do you guys have? 15. Okay, Sandra.
That's more truthful.
That 15. Look at her face. She put the face in there like, oh my God. Okay, we've got 15. Way too many. Which ones that were? Okay, Shanta. What's up, Shanta? I laugh with y'all. Depends on if it's on sale. Y'all cheating. Come on, Cheryl. They cheating now. Come on, drop the number in the chat. Judy said too many to count. Okay, so Judy, we just gonna say 100. Well, we gotta pick a number under 100 so we can play it in the Super Lotto. And so I'm just gonna say 98, Judy. That's my beauty from Canada, my Canadian beauty. What's up? What's up? Miss Foster says she has a beauty supply store. Oh my gosh, Cheryl. Okay, we got 8. This is a beauty supply store. I wasn't. I'm sorry. Okay, so if I'm gonna put yours down, I gotta put that up there, Cheryl. I love y'all. See, I'm sorry. I'm laughing so hard. I can't even get it up there. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, there she is right there. Okay. She has a beauty supply. So you guys see that. Okay, my boss says she has 2. Oh, we got some good lottery numbers here. This is so funny. Cheryl can't even. We're like, we can't get to the top. Okay, we got 10. All right, 10. Wow. Maybe, okay. All right, she said she has a storage room. Oh my God, this is going to be great. Okay, so here's how we're going to define a hair product junkie. Now, it doesn't matter if we got 9. Y'all keep them numbers. We got some good lottery numbers here, okay? It doesn't matter if it's quote unquote natural hair products or hair products. We're just going to include everything, okay? So a hair product junkie is a person who just buys on impulse, basically off of what they see and hear. That's one. Another criteria that makes you a product junkie, if you don't use up what you already have in your closet. That makes you a product junkie. We got 12 coming through. I need some good lottery numbers, okay? Thank you, Sandra. All right. All right, so you got so much stuff that you're not even using it up. That's going to make you a serious product junkie. You're just buying stuff and you haven't even used up the stuff that you already have. All right, and of course, number 1, you're buying on impulse. And then I'm just going to say, I don't want to make this too broad, all right? And then last but not least, what really makes you a product junkie is if you signed up for one of those programs where you're on repeat shopping. Did you know they have that, Cheryl? I didn't know that. Did you know that, Cheryl? Mm-hmm. I did not know that there are hair care companies who are allowing you guys to just...
hair care companies?
Yeah, you could just get the money. They'll automatically take the money out of your account and just ship you the product. Valerie like, yep, yeah, this is true, guys. So, yeah, Cheryl like, yeah, that makes you a real junkie. If you're going to get on a automatic payment plan automatic payment plan for your car, your insurance, that's a good idea. Your hair care products, I don't know if your financial advisor would advise you to keep doing that, okay? Teresa, it's going good with Cheryl. Get ready. Hold on, Teresa, don't leave us. My name is Teresa, and I am a product. They're confessing up here, Cheryl. They're yeah. Okay. All right, Cheryl. So here goes the question. All right, here we go. Let's get it going. Off the rip, we just going to cut through the chase. Exactly how many products would you recommend that a person should realistically have for their hair? Just male, female, and maybe you might have to break it down with like families or something like that. But let's hear what you got, because your family, you guys were the original formulators of hair care products that we needed to buy and what they call that retention, right? We would have to keep buying these products. But and I have a vision of your father's picture in my mind with his California curl products, but surely he didn't want us to buy all of that stuff because it wasn't all hair care products. So here we go. We're gonna hop right into it. Sophia, Sandra, you're recovering junkie. It's okay. Sophia says she will not reveal the exact number. That's okay. So now we're talking about remember, Cheryl Morrow is the person who knows this stuff firsthand. So I'm going to shut up. And Cheryl, let's get it going. Exactly. Give us an outline. And we're going to get a little bit deeper because I know what you guys are going to want to know. What's in it. All this good stuff is coming. But let's start off the rip. All right. How many or what would that wardrobe look like?
Whoa. Well, I'm going to actually change the question just a bit. Okay. Um, and by the way, you reminded me of something that my father used to always say when he created a product, right? He would always say, this product would allow you to get rid of everything you got in your house. Actually, Mr. Morrow only believed in using one product. Um, he would always create something else so you won't have to use something else. He was never, he didn't, in fact, my father's bathroom and my mom's bathroom, they only use what he recently made. They did not use, you know. So I hope you guys get that straight.
Let me just first of all, that's brilliant. If you got, I know, and did you guys hear what she just said? I'm gonna let her repeat that. But I'm just gonna do a little revelation. I first met Cheryl last year, and I actually was like, "Can I use your bathroom?" She said, "Sure." And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna just tell the truth. I actually used her bathroom so I could see. I want to know what's in her bathroom. I was looking around. Y'all should have seen me. And you know what? It wasn't shit in there. I was like, what the hell?
There's nothing in there.
It was nothing. She ain't lying. I said, she ain't no hairstylist. She ain't got no products in this. And I'm a hairstylist. Okay, y'all. I just had to let that out.
Oh God.
I was looking. I know Cheryl like, what's she doing in that bathroom? I was like,
There actually isn't anything in there. But in fact, the only thing that is in there, because my mother loves body creams, and that's the only thing that's in there. Anyway, but I want to change the question. And I did not know that you was in that bathroom trying to peep my hair game. But no,
I am from the ghetto. My name is Kilolo.
But I will say that I'm going to take a different direction. The beauty industry is built for you to be a product junkie. And the reason why is because people, what is, fill in the blank, fill in this blank, blank aisle. What is it called? Blank aisle. What's the word that comes after aisle? I mean before aisle. What word? It's called maintenance aisle. It is the maintenance aisle. And when you understand the psychology of a maintenance aisle, it means that it maintains you where you are. So if your hair is dry, you go down the maintenance aisle. Doesn't say cure aisle, doesn't say heal aisle, get rid of your problem aisle. It says maintenance aisle. So in other words, it is there for you to keep becoming insatiable. So if you are dry, it's going to maintain you. The products there are not to solve your problem. So you could become a serial purchaser of moisturizers because the aisle is not there to solve your problem. Does that make sense? So you could accumulate 15 different moisturizers because at the end of the day, it's based on the fact that you made a bad decision, not the fact that the aisle in and of itself knows that it's not designed to solve whatever reason why you're in the aisle. So it's like vitamins. So that's why you have 15 different vitamin A's. So if you didn't like one A, well, you got another A. And so you can, it is the psychology of the business to create this. And so one of the things that that's a trick question, how much you should, But I mean, obviously, you can have one shampoo, but the the key is that you're inundated with information. You have 50 million different reviews for one product. It's psychologically designed for you guys to have multiple products in your home.
Wow. That's powerful. You're right, Valerie. That's a wild situation. These people are thinking about this beyond what we might, be
Hmm.
thinking as consumers, and they actually have a research that they actually study how people shop. Am I correct?
Hmm.
It's called industrial psychology, where I believe is it Procter and Gamble, where they actually have a a little city, and
Hmm.
they actually invite people to come in there, and they actually literally mark and track and really get a feel or understanding of
Hmm.
how we shop, why we shop. So there's a lot more that goes into to get us to buy. So can you talk about that a little bit more? Because the chat just lit up about the
Hmm.
psychology. Because we're all
Yeah.
kind of. Oh, she said Facebook as well. Okay.
Well, and two, they know that you don't have indicators. So, what would be the indicator of something working? And so you're going in the aisle, and I find it fascinating. So it is kind of fascinating to go to any store with me because I'm going to actually stop, and sometimes I'll see a black woman or woman of color, and she's in the aisle, and her whole it's almost like she's bringing the whole serotonin, norepinephrine, and her hormones, the joy of shopping, right? Or a man is, now they've got the men's aisles really glamorous now. So now they're buying 15 different shaving creams. But the problem is that men are psychologically, their choices are set up for them to be decisive and to have product loyalty. Women are not supposed to have product loyalty. They're supposed to be shopping based on not much impulse, but the point is that the aisle is designed for you to try this one day, try that one day, and try this one day, and try that one day, because they know you don't have any real product indication, anything to go by if something worked or not. And so I remember Macy's have a shopping bag called Educated Consumer, right? And once you become educated, well, they know that you're not. So they know that there is no indications that you guys are going in or red flags or anything to have a reference point. Or there's no metric system in which to buy a moisturizer, only a review. But guess what? There's 15 million reviews off of different products. And I know we need to fix it, but um, you know, they and I think what Ladosha is trying to address is that when does your fixation become educated, and where is that line of demarcation of so to speak?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Because now, and you can just kind of help me out. What's up, Miss Howard? I see you. I see you. So here's the thing. Now, I'm working behind the chair. Okay. So here are things that I see, and feel free, guys, to drop your questions about some of these purchases that you have made. But so my statement is truly like isolated, to the Revis Design Team Hair Salon. So please don't take this as a blanket statement across the entire beauty industry. But what I do see in the hair salon, number one, is a lot of things that are just repackaged. It's the same thing, but it's just repackaged and it has some new, adjectives on them. Okay, descriptive words. That's one. Two, on the actual hair itself, I am now seeing things on the hair that just cannot get off, because the practice for black women is to not wash their hair frequently. So these newer products are not like the products back in the day. When I grew up, I was going to say there should be three products. You know, that's what I recommend: a shampoo, a conditioner, and a hair dressing. That's it. If you need some hairspray, I get your fixative. But other than that, you don't need anything else, period. So that's what I promote, because back in the day, we really didn't have all of this stuff to put on our hair. So kind of walk us through so we can get that aha moment for those of us who are in the chat and it's like, where do we turn it off at? So what happened between back in the day where we just had a few and now you have people with all these steps of making curl define? When I remember, my mother used to just put a brush and some water and some baby lotion. Anybody remember that? So take it away, Cheryl. And how do we transition from simple to complicated and then bring us back down?
Yeah. Well, there's multiple things going on. The Black consumer is not buying for the same reasons that our parents were buying. Our Generation X is buying because it's first, or it's the best, or it's different. Today's consumer is buying because of Black owned. They're buying because of political reasons. They're buying because they are grossly trying to get a texture that is not natural to their own. So they are buying, trying to do something that is not going to be achievable without a twist out, something that is going to be prepared overnight, or something that is only going to last a couple of days. So their purchases are based on results that are not realistic.
Can I interject there? Now, anybody just let me know and in the chat too. Now, you just said something very interesting. You said they're buying this stuff, and I wrote this down, that they're trying to achieve something with the texture. Now, I would think that if it didn't work, they would just stop buying it. But as she says, that's why she keeps buying these gels, because she's trying to make something. What is it that people need to know about hair that it won't work when it comes to this 50 types of creams and gels? And
I remember taking and let's go to one issue. Let's talk about the unscientific term called shrinkage, right? And so when you deal with shrinkage, the problem is that through every video, what is the common denominator? And that's water, right? Okay. But the problem is that every manufacturer, and I can say just about everyone, is just using heavy polymers and surfactants and emulsions and things of that nature. The problem is that when you teach someone in the opposite of what the product is actually going to do, then you end up thinking that it is the product not working based on the technique not working. And this is why the cosmetologist is so important to the education component as the consumer goes into the beauty supply. Because if she understands the moment you use water, forget it, game over. It doesn't make a difference what you use. You see what I'm saying? So shrinkage is it's inevitable, but it is not fair to put the product on a scale that is not going to work, and then the manufacturer does not have a responsibility to make your technique better based on your your home skills, and then you're doing it without professional instruction, you know, and then all of a sudden you keep going back to the store thinking that it's one product versus one product versus one product, and it's not working. But let me just say about gels. Gels are designed to not work. They're designed to not work. They're not based on your texture. They're not based on anything. They are water and and ingredients that make the hair hard in terms of your last style. They're, you know, see, and want to get in gel, we never use gel outside of finger waves or wet styles that ended up frozen. We never use gel for any other, we never use gel outside of the California curl or the permanent wave. We didn't use it, but it's become now a maintenance product. But there's no maintenance in gel. There's no maintenance. It is only a product following a trend, but the trend in and of itself is not connecting to texture. It's based on technique. And so, and if your technique at home is weak, then you think it's the product's problem, and it's not, and no one is ever stopping you to be able to kind of give you a technique that will make anything work, and you think it's the product, but it's not.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here. Now, yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Sure, you always make me speechless, okay? Because I see this phenomenon as a cosmetologist, and this is why we are going to have this Afro Hair Science Summit here in Cleveland this year. I know, Teresa, this is just wow. Because I am a licensed cosmetologist, and I did not know that. But what I did know was that it wasn't working, and we don't sell them, we don't promote them, and she is correct. We only use those gels to finish. We don't, some things we're just not going to sell to the public, though I would not have articulated. This is why I'm so thankful, dear baby Lord Jesus, 6 pounds 9 ounces in the manger. I just that I get a chance to work alongside Cheryl. I mean, the whole chat is just like jaw dropping. Wow, 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 wow. And so, to our point, not only about education for myself, but education from the people who are educating. Now, again, Cheryl never knows that I'm going to have this stuff, guys. I want you guys to know all of our podcasts are improvisational. Cheryl literally texts me in the morning and says, what are we talking about? So these podcasts are not scripted. So this just goes to show you how much Cheryl knows what she's talking about, and I am literally a shit starter, okay? So here is a handout that you can go online, and her name is Joanna Samuels. Now, I'm going to be emailing her because this is the worst thing I have ever seen, okay? Now, I love her efforts, but it says, to your point, she's got a glossary here, and it's called Shrinkage. Now, I had someone go on to Amazon and write me a very horrible book review about I had some grammatical mistakes in my book, okay? And so come to find out they actually have the wrong book. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if someone gave it to her, but it says she was a verified purchase, but she has the original copy that I gave out when I first did it. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So anyhow, so I'm making a point here. So I called Cheryl, and we were just talking about this. So I was telling her why I was reluctant to write the book, because I'm not an English major. I'm a hairstylist. So I wrote the book, and so it's called What They Don't Tell You at the Hair Salon. And it does. It has a couple of grammatical errors, right? But here's a paper that has all of the grammar, right? But everything is wrong. And that's what Cheryl said to me. And so sometimes, guys, we have to watch out for being hoodwinked and bamboozled. A lot of us, as you can see, whether it's in writing or not, people are selling us stuff with savvy, with nice words, and all of these titles like natural hair care expert. So with that being said, she's not calling herself a natural hair care expert. So can we go into the natural hair care expert? Because I think this is a person that the public would deem her as a natural hair care expert because she has grammatically correct stuff, and I have a few, grammars, you know, mistakes, in my book. But she'll get deemed as the expert. So help us with the natural hair care expert because everybody trusts these people.
Yeah. Um, One of the things that I want to say, you guys hear me say all the time, I reference the year 2000 and I call it Y2K. To give you guys a division in a chronological time period, the natural, and I'm going to give you guys an example, okay, of a real happenstance, right? And I was at this was at the beginning of the Natural Hair Expos. They were popping up everywhere, and I was invited. It happened to be in my own city, and it was called the Bold and the Beautiful Natural Hair Expo. And so a mother stood up and she said, I need to know what to do with my hair. And I noticed that she had two children and whose hair was absolutely divine. And so I said, is that your children? And she said, yes. And I says, okay. And I says, wow, their hair is absolutely beautiful. And she did this, you guys. Oh, thank you. I did it. I said, oh, wow. And of course, she didn't know where I was going. And so I said, well, is there a reason why you can't apply those skills to you? And she just looked at me and with the most dumb look. And I says, well, I says, you know the difference between you and your children? And she said, no. I says, you're in the natural hair care industry and your kids are not. And that's the difference, because the industry of what they created is they started over as if the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s never happened. And so that when you talk about shrinking or shrinkage or any other glossary term that they have come with, you must understand that cosmetology do not have those words in our lexicon. And those are not terms that are applicable to the technique of styling to get from wet to the end result. So you're listening to an era of people and that are well intentioned, but unfortunately, they are a generation of beauty practitioners, and they mean well. However, they have, I never thought I'd use this term, but I think they say they set us back. And not back in a way that means that we're unsophisticated. I think that now we have way more work to do, and Black people really don't, and especially when in our efforts to try to stay on our horses and to stay productive and to stay effective, we now have to deal with people who look like us, to undo and unlearn. And now we have to relearn things that are just not befitting. They just don't scientifically fit. They don't cosmetically fit. And I think that now that the natural hair care finds themselves in their bathroom cabinets with multiple purchases, and just think about the millions and millions and millions of dollars that has been wasted on brands that were merely passion driven but not knowledge driven. And I think that that is something we're going to have to deal with, because I'm not knocking the hustle, or I'm not knocking the effort, but what I am saying is that we have now more of an uphill to climb, trying to get the trust of the consumer back into what we call, because like I wrote in the recent article here in the San Diego Monitor News, you know, how can Black people have so many experts and then the industry have no expertise? Now that is
So, right. So, a quick. So, are you saying that? Does that mean? I mean, Miss Howard, I put your comment up. They think they know everything because they learn lies online from others. So, to Miss Howard's point, and I'm just going to ask you: are you saying that the beauty industry, did we fail to help with that, or were we just, did we drop the ball? I'm not even going to just.
no, we didn't drop the ball. They didn't come get the ball. They never asked for the ball. They went beyond, and let me just say this, and there could be some remnants of a gap between 1992, between 1999, where the industry probably was in a fork in the road, and Mr. Morrow went, California Green, and went other places to try to do innovation on making relaxing and texture enhancement safer. And that was our word as California Curl, safer, trying to make all the things that we did like about what was going on in cosmetology and Black hair care, but making them better. And they all met. We all met. We had Gardners, the Dudleys, all of us met on Cortland Avenue in the Radisson Hotel. I never will forget. They all were there trying to figure this out. What was 1989, when the relaxer was coming back, but those are people who have millions of dollars to spend to make things better, but to give into the laboratory and to make them fundamentally, and go back into the fundamentals and redo it at that point, not to what natural hair care did at the eve of 1999 and the year 2000. They just threw the baby with the bathwater and totally just made it up as they went, trying to regain. And it's not, and so it's just one of those things that we never talked about. But the natural Y2K era just never picked up the legacy. They just started over. And that's one of the things that I talk about as I talk about inheritance and wealth, and what I inherited from my father, and all of those dynasties and wonderful millions of dollars that we did make. The point is that, yeah, while you must get a baton passed to you, but you got to come back and pick it up. You can't
All
just
right.
you,
All
you
right,
can't.
you can't just leave it. Okay, all right, okay. Wow, this is really good. If you have just dropped into the discussion, we are talking about the hair care junkie, and Cheryl is really imparting, as usual, some profound school of thoughts to help us navigate our own personal responsibilities, so that we're not being so duped. And I'm seeing some things come through the chat, like rice water, like co-washing. Again, to Cheryl's point, this type of stuff does not happen in the hair salon. I never felt like we dropped the ball, but I definitely was hearing that. So what I'm going to do is help you guys when we're talking, because Cheryl kept using a word. I don't know if anybody guys caught this. So Michonne's girl, don't sweat the technique. You know what I'm saying? Eric B. Don't sweat the technique, okay? By the way, rest in peace to our homeboy Trugor from De La Soul. Really, 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 really shocked and broke my little heart yesterday. But again, technique is key. So what I'm going to do, because we're going to go back, I want you to talk a little bit more about the expert, okay? A little bit more, Cheryl, about the expert before we wrap up. I'm going to talk about my book. what they don't tell you at the hair salon. So it's not so much as a book that doesn't tell you things at the hair salon. It's so much stuff that we don't get a chance to talk about at the hair salon. So this book kind of fills in the gap. This is what we call a self-help book, and it's for the newbie. Now, if you're one of those people who just know everything, you're not going to like this book because you're going to be like, okay, I know that already. So the premise of the book is to debunk the popular myths. So when you're out shopping for books and you're following people, we want you guys to really look for that responsible leadership and also look for the right connections. Now, everybody don't know Cheryl. Cheryl is on as my PNC, okay, and a host of others. But you definitely want to look for their affiliations with other people, which you can see in my book. All right. So I'm definitely debunking. I'm starting off where I want everybody to understand that race has nothing to do with hair, because what they don't tell you at the hair salon, we never get a chance to talk about that, but that's what cosmetologists, we really don't see race when we see hair. We hear the people, but we look at the fabric. Per Cheryl's comment, we use the science of cosmetology to serve you. We hear your culture, we hear your language, we hear your words, but when we deduce, when we go to use and reach and pump and scoop and swipe and all those activities, we're actually using the science. We're not using this pseudo stuff right here called the Ultimate Black Hair Glossary, okay? So again, this has all the good grammar. Now I got a couple of mistakes in here. Also, it puts together like how the book is put together, like how you would go into a hair salon. So when you guys are looking for stuff, look for people and language and products that goes with where you're at, because Cheryl pointed out the biggest problem is that they know that we don't know and we're not able to express that we don't know. We can't figure it out. So we're in this vicious loop. So books like mine and books like Cheryl, we're tapping into the emotions. We're imparting with you some knowledge to empower you to feel comfortable with your choices, not just good grammar and good pictures and followers, because you guys aren't going to like that, okay? And so that's pretty much how the book is going. It's very, very, very user-friendly to walk you through so that you can understand what might be missed because you don't understand how we work professionally behind the chair. So with that being said, Cheryl, expound a little bit more so that they can understand about the expert and the importance of why you're talking about the expert and the technique that never gets talked about. We see people trying to make that Afro hair curly, but nobody's telling you the truth. When you go to sleep and wake up, you gonna have an Afro, okay? So what technique, okay? So go a little bit more into the expert so that they can discern what one is and isn't, and then just kind of couple the technique again.
And I'm just using shrinkage for as an example of, if let's just say you have a wonderful, beautiful woman or a little girl or a little boy, doesn't make a difference, and they like their hair texture, right? A little more stretched or more downward length towards their shoulder, right? And we all know that that is counterintuitive because, of course, the hair naturally wants to relax, and relaxing means it's going towards upward. Okay. The problem is, and this is where the expertise comes from. Okay. And this is what cosmetologists know to be true. They know that the hotter a temperature goes, the more the hair is going to go downward. Okay. And the more water the hair receives, it's going to go in the opposite direction. However, but natural hair care people on every video, what do they do first? They do the very thing that they don't want to do. And they put what? They will tell you that they'll start at the beginning of their video that they'll have five, six products that they're going to use. So you already know in YouTube streets, they are already getting you ready to buy what? 5 different products. Okay. They're going to have 3 conditioners. They're going to have a pre one. Then they're going to have a co-washing one. Then they'll, and all of these things, right? So they're already priming you for at least 4 products. Okay. And the number one product, of course, they don't tell you about, which is water. Okay, so you're going to include that. But they go into the spray bottle, right? And they're spraying. Pss, 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 pss. And the problem is that it's counter because the hair is going that way and they're keep pulling this way. Well, what I mean by a bunch of experts and no expertise, if they would just understand, if they could communicate with cosmetologists, must learn what we call elements. And in elements, cosmetology have to use elements, natural elements, man-made elements, and even physical techniques to counter what the true desire is at the end of the day. And if you're watching a video from a natural hair care lay person that is doing things counter to what you want, okay, right? And so I always do a test just to let a person know that technique matters. And cosmetologists, probably every day, 8 hours to 9 hours, we know what doesn't work and what is the best and fastest way to get from A to B in the straightest line possible within the less time possible, right? And so I always do a test. I will flat iron a black person's hair very straight, right? And so I would say ground zero is water. It's totally birth texture, right? Mother texture. You came out of your mother. That's, how it evolved. 12, 13 years old. Your hair, right? When I flat iron it, I will call that 10. Okay, so now, but if I don't give the 10, the flat iron, if I don't give it water, and I only give it a little bit of lotion, what do you think the hair is going to do? It's going to want to go relax because it knows it feels something wet, but it doesn't have enough moisture to do what? To go all the way to the zero, which is the birth texture. So it takes on a slight wave. But if that's what you're trying to go eventually, then the technique is not to use a bunch of water, is what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to give you guys as an example between expertise and people who call themselves experts, because it's not about me to give you a glossary of terms and to give you definitions. Our job as cosmetologists is to give you a technical understanding of how to reach the goal in the easiest and the quickest way possible for you to duplicate it at home and to be able to come back to the salon and for us to give you a smiley face and a star on your forehead to say, oh, okay, you guys have done good and you're listening and you're progressively getting the results that you want. But unfortunately, the Y2K is very product heavy. And
but what's wrong with the glossary? I mean, let everybody know, because these are so these glossary terms, they're all over social media. They're just everywhere, Cheryl. And these people are very popular and they're just out there. So help everybody understand why glossary terms are just
let's just say co-washing. Co-washing is a term that they created because they know they created a different problem. So the co-washing is met with a problem because they really don't like the texture. Unlike their 1960s grand and parents' generation, when they just said, "Hey, let it do what it do," and then wore the afros and went to the barber and got it perfectly cut, and then split it down the middle, did afro puffs. We did a whole bunch of things. We braided, corn roll it down the middle, put some beads on the end, and then had, whatever. No, this generation is trying to achieve something to give polymers, conditioners, humectants, surfactants, emulsions, all of that stuff, gels. They're only going to temporarily, they have a clock on them. Gels only work until they evaporate. Surfactants and humectants, they only work. But because there is no technical understanding of how it works, then what happens is that co-washing was trying to mitigate the effects of the water. That's what co-washing, to put a heavier cream inside the water effect. That's what co-washing came from, because the heavy cream kept the water from taking the hair too relaxed, to back to the natural birth texture. So the heavy weight of the conditioner, called a co-partner inside the water, it's slowing down the shrinkage. That's where that came from. But the term doesn't go with the technique. The technique in the product is never matching, and then they can't control it when they get home because they don't know what to do with it, because it's basically technique. So it doesn't make a difference what technique you use based on the product if you're void of knowing how to manipulate the conditioner in the first place. Does that make sense? Right. Does that make sense, guys? Right. Right. Terms like co-washing. And let me just say this. I don't understand what the Aveda, and of course the white world and the European world, they get in there because of course they think it's a free for all. You guys don't know what you're doing, so let's just let us get in there too, And let me just say this: it's not the first time it happened, because even the word neutralizer is not a black cosmetology term. That's a white cosmetology term. Black folks ain't never had a neutralizer outside of the curl era. But that's a whole nother story. But what I am saying is clarifying is not a black word. It's not akin to black hair care. We don't know what that is. The best way, I think, the closest we get to clarifying is a neutralizing shampoo. But clarifying is one of those words. Again, we don't know what your grandmother and your mother and your grandfather would not know. What a mom, go pick me up a clarifying shampoo. She would never know what that is. And so these words keep covering up the mistakes of misunderstanding. Then the word, it's almost like, instead of just asking what shouldn't we do and how can we get it right, they'll just make up another word to say we've put this stuff on our hair and now we need a new word for a shampoo because we've put too much stuff on. And so we don't ever want to. And let me just say this: Y2K also is a little egotistical in fragile, because you can't tell them anything before they, trying to correct the misunderstanding, because of course we never used clarifying shampoo within the last 50 years. Why, at the birth of 2000, why would we need a clarifying shampoo? So we never questioned why these things happen.
I'm sorry, hold on. Man, I mean, I'm with you, Sandra. Cheryl is breaking it down all the way around. Again, I just want to say, and this is why we need education in cosmetology. The push to lower the standards, as you guys can see and hear from watching this tonight, is not a good thing. because even myself, as a licensed cosmetologist, I am not aware of what Cheryl just mentioned. Number one, I mean, I understand it like you guys, but I'm not aware of it. Number two, we that we should be getting more education, and we do via our continuing education, but we don't get it the way Cheryl is giving it to us because there's not a lot of companies and Afro hair, which is why we want you guys to please. And I hope what she just said to you guys lets you understand that you have to watch out for these glossary terms because they're really trying to use these as fillers to fill in for something of a problem that they created. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn with my own book that has a few grammatical errors, but I am telling you guys on everything I own, when you buy my book, because you can't always be live with us, it actually walks you through some of these points in a more user-friendly tone that helps you digest it. And then you have Cheryl's book that also takes it to another level. Again, you're talking about hers from a memoir where she's giving you some personal thoughts around her experiences and working with the customers. So we're here for you guys. Yeah, I'm with you. This is mind boggling. It's mind blowing, but we have to do our part as consumers and just be a little bit more savvy. Put the money down and vet these people just a little bit more than what we're doing, okay? Now, we're going to be back next week and we're going to be talking about aging hair. Okay, what happens to our hair when we get old, Cheryl? I mean, our boobs sag and our face sags and our our lashes and stuff come out and our teeth are missing a couple of teeth, but we cannot accept what's happening to our hair when we age. So we're going to help you guys understand what's happening to our hair when we age. I have our lottery numbers. That's number 8, 5, 15, 98, number 2, 10, 9, and 12. So I am definitely going to play them in the super mega millions, whatever we have here in Ohio. And if we win, only the people that's in the live chat will get some of the millions. And Michonne, we'll let you sit with us on CNN because you'll be able to testify that. So ask Cheryl, they want to know what do you use? What shampoo is there a brand that you use? Or, I know you make up stuff, but can you give them one that you might recommend?
Mm. That's a trick question, you guys. I'm going to say I am even willing to put my I know I got a hat on all the time, y'all, but but I do have hair. Um my own. I, and let me just say this too. When you have I'm not a hair person. I go to the hair salon to deal with you guys. And I'm retired, but I focus my work on I like shampoos that that just have few ingredients. Put it that way. I do think I only wash once. I don't like a lot of detergent. Me and Mr. Morrow, I have to say, we don't like detergents. So I would basically get a basic, decent something, probably 1980s if you can. Probably something around 1990s when basically we were just trying to clean hair, not trying to make the shampoo do anything else. Get it, and I don't use a lot of water. I will put shampoo on my hair dry. I don't use water. So I just massage it in there and keep it in there for about 5 minutes, and then I'm done. And so, but as you can see, I don't use a lot of conditioner and stuff either. I like my hair very light, but I am willing to put my technique down if we can have that. I don't want to seem anti-product because I'm not anti-product because I make it, but I, if that does that give you guys a good answer?
Yeah. They're in the chat. Let me just show you. Here you go, right here, Cheryl. Just so you can see. There it is. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Don't go off the live yet. I gotta find it. There. Here it is, right here from Lena. Okay, here you go, Lena. All right. You see that, Cheryl? They said we love you. So, but what you know what we want you guys to really understand, and you're right. Somebody said Ladosha teaches us that. The name of my product is called the Wright Hair Products. And this is a true story. All right. I was Cheryl. Y'all know I'm from the hood, right? So I don't like that shit either. Okay. I don't promote that. I'm just gonna when I wash my, when your hair is soiled, you do need to clean it. I have color in my hair, so I don't have the same regimen. But my product is a wordplay on my name.
Yes.
And it's because hair care and hairstyling are about three things, guys. And you heard Cheryl say it: the right products, the right tools, and the right technique. I doubt in the real world there is one product that's going to meet everybody's need. But if it works, use it. Do not keep going out. And you know how you just like, I grew up using Crest. You know how hard it is to get me to go and buy some damn Colgate? You know? I mean, I grew up. We started off with Zest soap, and then once they said Zest was killing us, we went over to Dove. I don't wash up with anything else but Dove. But when I went to Africa, I got the black soap. So now, but I got an African Connect, so I'll get the real black African soap. Everybody that don't wash your face with soap, I do. So what we're saying, guys, is keep it simple. Keep your money in your pocket. As we got about 2 more minutes.
And you could just take Ladosha or myself, or you can write it down or whatever is. Match it with your needs. Match it with your result. A cosmetologist such as myself or Ladosha can give you the technique. But if you have something in mind or you're becoming insatiable and that money is burning your pocket, just go by the salon and say, Miss Ladosha, I want to make a purchase, and she'll talk you off the cliff. She'll talk you down.
Yeah, we do. We put people out. We said, get out of here. Stop. You don't need that. You know, we even put a date. Like, don't come back in here and next month tell us about need some shampoo. Who needs to buy a shampoo every month? Come on. A bottle 8 ounces should last you at least 3 months, guys. Come on. You should be only buying hair conditioner, seriously, no more than twice a year. I mean, listen, I own a hair salon. Do you know how long a gallon of conditioner would last us? Forever, okay? So calm it down a little bit, and I think you guys are just really, really going to be very satisfied. We're going to come back next week, and we're going to be talking about that aging hair. What do we do as we get older? Can we slow down the signs of aging? Can we stop it? What happens when we got little granny with only 2 strands of hair and she still wants, to put a wig on, okay? All right, guys. So we thank you all so very much. This was dynamic once again. You guys continue to floor us with your support, and we appreciate you very, very much. Sure, you want to close us out with just one of those wonderful positive statements about this technique, expertise, just like you always do.
Well, like I always tell most Black women and men, God gave you the most dominant curly hair on earth, meaning it can do anything and everything that any other race of people's hair can do. You can do it all. However, it does require you to be somewhat intelligent, wise, and discerning. Um, Ask questions. And if you need to purchase something, talk about the results, about what it is that you want. Be honest about your technique level. And if you need training, that's why hair salons and hairstylists exist. You don't have to come to us to every day for an appointment. If you just need some techniques, because at the end of the day, if we had the gift of aunts and sisters and mothers and wonderful fathers who took time to make sure that we had a wonderful beauty process and we learned about our hair, that we will be well adjusted when we're young adults and adult women. But we pretty much internally know that what we do to ourselves is aching and part and parcel of how we feel. And so, as long as we feel well informed and well educated, just go home and apply them and hang in there and communicate to your cosmetologist about the results, and you'll get better at it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I became a hairstylist, guys, to teach people how to do their own
Mhm.
hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I actually, opened up my salon, because the goal, this is what I didn't know this when I became a hairstylist. I thought it was about bossing up, being unbossed, all that, that. But really, that's not what the beauty industry is about. The beauty industry is about teaching you how to do your own hair. We have a partnership, we're a relationship. It's like a marriage. We're in this for the long haul. I've taken people here
Well
to
said.
their grave. I mean, literally, I've had customers. It's like, when I die, I want you to do my hair. I hate that I've had to do it, but I have been able to do it. Okay, that's what we're here for. We're here to partner with you. The books are available. Both of our books, they are available on Amazon. Okay, I also, if you want to support a true black owner, okay, if you guys are into black, spending black, my book is also available. It's an ebook. And to Cheryl's point, I'm just going to pull it up right quick before we go off here. When she talked about, stuff that we can actually, sorry, hold on right quick, Cheryl, what they don't, stuff that we can actually use, and it's going to make it make sense, because we understand that you guys are really looking for this kind of stuff here, all right, which is modern and up to date. So here is my book, right, and it's an ebook, and I just want to show you guys, in real life, this book actually comes to life. When you download this book, right, you actually will see how to shampoo your hair. So there are a lot of us in the beauty industry who are trying to go beyond the chair to help you guys out. So you can download my book, What They Don't Tell You, at the hair salon. And there are some pages that will come to life to help you right there in real time with the right products, the right tools, and the right techniques, because we have to move into the new century, because this is what you guys are doing. We will see you guys next week. Cheryl, I love you so much. This has absolutely been phenomenal. We love you guys. You guys are definitely our partners. If you're watching this post live, thank you so much for rocking us out to the end. You know what we say when we always signing out, guys. We're always talking about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, for certainly a whole lot of hair. But y'all know what we say, all right? All right? If you ain't got no hair, don't want no hair, can't stand hair, you can't grow it, you plan on cutting it off, you got some bald patches, hey guys, don't worry about that stuff. I'm telling you, don't do it. Read our books, okay? Because bald heads are beautiful too, and so are you. Put that money down, y'all. Don't spend no more money, okay? All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Bye, boss.